All right, everybody. So we're going to do a little walkthrough of these MapKit playgrounds, the ones that I have shared with you on Power School Learning. So if you take a look, there are 6 pages, and each one, your goal is to just complete the task that's described in the comments. So I think the comments are pretty straightforward, but in case you need a little bit more guidance into what you're being asked to do, I am here. So don't be afraid. We can do this. So in this first page, page 1, what it tells us to do is it says we're going to learn a bit about MapKit. This shows how to create a simple square map. So we have this right here. This is that line. And we can just pull that out. And then the second thing to do is it tells us that the next line displays the map view in the live view for the page. So that just means it takes the map that is created using our MapKit library, which by the way is imported right here. And it says that Playgrounds should display that map view right in the live view. So let's check it out, run the code. And sure enough, there is our map. So that's page 1, simple enough. Page 2. Okay, so we have something similar. We can see right here. So we have, again, imported MapKit, and we've created a map view. But we want to center the map on SSIS. So we're given the SSIS coordinates. Now, in your version, the latitude and longitude will not be these. So let's pretend that we don't have values there and that I am you, and I am just typing in the actual latitude and longitude. So we know that any location on Earth has a latitude and longitude, and so if we just put these into Swift Playgrounds, it will know where to center our map. So I will again type those in. 721.996 for the latitude, and longitude is 106.708946. Okay, now what it says is that we can set the zoom setting on MapView so that it's much closer to where we are. And you can kind of see right here that this is really close. We want the zoom distance to be 2 kilometers centered around the school. We can see this is actually much closer than that. It's really close. And so it's telling us that this next line is the distance in meters that you want to show on the map. So we can see I am calculating the zoom distance by taking our distance, and I'm taking our zoom distance in kilometers and I'm multiplying it by 100, because of course there's 100 meters in a kilometer. And we want to zoom 2 kilometers square, and so of course we do that calculation. Now I am hoping that as I am speaking, this is bothering you. Something is wrong, you need to fix something going on there. And so in this video I'm showing you how to do this, so I'll just fix it. Hopefully you have figured out that this calculation is correct. There are 1,000 meters in a kilometer, and so now if we run the code, we can see this is a much better view of kind of a 2 kilometer area around around the school. Let's see, if we drag that out, we can kind of see now that this is a map that's showing the general area around the school, and we can reduce that and then see the code one more time. And so everything else on here is set. One thing I will say is that you are setting the view region. You're saying how much of the map you want to really view, and you're giving it as a quantity of meters, both for latitude and longitude. And so we are setting the region of our map to be that view region. And that's it. Page 3. This map is centered on the Sydney Opera House in Sydney, Australia. Very cool. Let's just run the code. And we can see there is a Sydney Opera House, and we can sort of move around and explore a little bit. We can also zoom in and out on our trackpad, so we can explore a little bit. What this tells you is that we can click on the map and drag it around, but we may want to prevent the user from actually changing the view of the map. We might want to just show a static part of the map. And so there is a property called isScrollEnabled, and right now it's true. And so we can simply switch that to be false, run the code, and sure enough, now if I try, I cannot scroll around, but I can zoom in and out. And you might be inclined to wonder, is it possible to also prevent zooming in and out? And sure enough, you can see there is a property there that you can play with. So that's at page 4. So this map is centered somewhere in the world that's well known. I'm going to let you figure that out. You are all clever students. I'm going to leave this to you to figure out exactly what part of the world that is right there. Very exciting, very interesting. And so you can change the zoom distance a little bit. You can also zoom in and out this way if you're not really sure where that is, but you can do that also within the code as well. And so all I'm asking you to do in page 4 is just look at some of the different kinds of maps. You've already seen the standard one. That's what you were told here. Views in the past few maps are all standard views, but there are a whole bunch of different ones. So if we enable hybrid, you can see this is a mix of being able to see the street names, but also see the satellite view. And there are a couple other little ones that are kind of neat. So it's a little bit different, good enough to play around with. So I just want you to see what are the different kinds of maps that you can use. Page 5, it's your turn to put the center of the map somewhere. This map is centered on SSIS. Oh, it is not. That is centered on NIST International School. But in your version, I'm pretty sure that it is centered on SSIS, and I can go back, I think, to page 2 and get those coordinates. So just go here. So I'm going to change this to SSIS. Actually, I can just copy it from the other page. Looky there. Okay, so that's my map view, and those are the coordinates. Run the code, and there we are, centered right back at school. And what this is asking you to do is change it so it's centered on Crescent Mall. Now, I'm looking for you to do the work in Google Maps to figure out what these coordinates are. I give you some suggestions on how to do this. I am running this on the iPad, so let's actually see if I can get those coordinates on the iPad. It works in a very similar way if you're using the Maps app. Instead of Crescent Mall, because that's what you're supposed to do, I'm gonna scroll over here. We'll go to Vivo City. So if I click on Vivo City, I get some information here. Let's see, I'm not quite getting coordinates, am I? So more information, not so much. Overview. I do know for a fact that if you're in the map version, let me add a label. No, so that's not doing it. So anyway, I'm going to assume that if you are using Google Maps on your computer, you're going to be able to create a pin, do a 2-finger click. It's not really working for me on the iPad, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to do it. And you can find the coordinates that way, and you're just going to copy and paste those right in. And you can do the same thing with Google Maps as well. So I'm going to just assume that you will be able to figure that out yourself. And so you're just moving that over to Crescent Mall. Last thing, page 6. This is all on you. I'm just asking you to make a map of your own. You pick the place in the world that matters to you, make a map that's 200 by 200. Zoom setting, make it 3 kilometers around, and I tell you to make it a hybrid street view. And that's it. And that's all I'm asking you to do for this first MapKit exploration. So have some fun, enjoy MapKit, and see you when you're done.